We continue to other parts of this coverage. As teleSUR English offers you a special coverage of Colombia's presidential elections, we have now an invited guest for this moment. So be welcome, Doztor Zurlent, who is a political analyst and also a specialist in LATAM topics. Be welcome, Doztor.
Oh, hi, sorry. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you back here in From the South. So, Doztor, we know these are crucial elections for Colombia, but also for the region, as the South American nation is key in LATAM economy and politics, specifically regional unity and foreign policies towards the U.S. So, what can we expect in any scenario with these possible outcomes?
This is a very crucial outcome for the Latin American people. I'm not talking only about Colombia, I'm talking about Latin American people, and especially about Venezuela, because both of these candidates, the candidates going to the June 19 election, are in favor of establishing formal relationships with the Venezuelan government. So practically, it's a really hard hit on U.S. policy against Venezuela and Colombia U.S. policy in general. We have pretty much results. To be honest, I was not expecting that Fico was going to be. Fico is the third candidate, Federico. I was expecting Fico to get on second place, but the results show how people are rejecting the fascist policies that had been pretty much leading the Colombian and the U.S. governments in Colombia, and how it's not just the assassination of social leaders. It's not just the poverty, massive poverty that it's all over the place in Colombia. It's just that Colombian people are tired of so much suffering. Colombian people are tired of so much lying. Colombian people are tired of so much corruption. Colombian people are tired of a government that is the leading producer of drugs in the whole continent, and in association, of course, with the U.S. government, who is the main customer. So Colombian people have said, stop. We want no corrupt government. We don't want more violence. We don't want more corruption. Corruption twice. We don't want more paramilitary forces killing people. We want peace. We want hope. And that's what Petro means. Petro and Francia. It's important that we talk about Francia too, because she is playing a very important role in this voting process as a vice president candidate.
So we have another question for you, Doztor. Gustavo Petro, as part of his campaign proposals, pledged to resume bilateral relations with Venezuela, to resume the bilateral relations. Also, his running mate, Francia Marquez, said their possible administration will have respectful relationships with the U.S. Given the current scenario of the U.S. and Venezuela relationships, how will this be possible? What it could represent for the region, and how could they maintain a balance?
Well, Petro and Francia are confronting a very difficult challenge. They will have to pretty much play with a lot of dual situations, like right now, because of the sanctions on Russia, the world is confronting an increase in inflation, an increase in prices. the lack of certain products in enough amount, wheat is scarcing, and some other cereals. And Venezuela and Colombia are countries where wheat and bread production is very important for the daily, for everyday meals. And so in an international context where inflation and scarcity are going to increase, it's going to be really an uphill battle to keep the Colombian people happy under these conditions. But one of the things that Petro and Francia are going to have to do is to take a stance against U.S. policies that traditionally have been pretty much using the Colombian governments as we have an alliance between the Uribe family and Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. They have been creating joint ventures throughout Latin America and investing together in businesses. And that shows the deep of the relationship between the U.S. Elite and the Colombian elite through the using of their government and armed forces to pretty much back all these deals and all these wealthy people trying to make even more profit. So in regards to bilateral relations between Venezuela and Colombia, I think that's a done deal. It doesn't matter what the U.S. says. Both candidates in this that are going to the June 19 election have offered to reestablish the diplomatic relation with Venezuela. So I think it's a done deal. They are going to do it. It's going to open new possibilities for both countries. And it will be a way for Colombia also to fight these problems with oil prices, with scarcity, with inflation. I think it will be a smart move for any Colombian president to reestablish formal relations with the Venezuelan government.
So we thank you, Doztor, for your time and presence hearing from the South.
Thank you very much. And in spite of all the pressure, because there was a lot of media pressure and social networks pressure, Petro showed that he is the real alternative for the Colombian people.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for having me.
We thank you for your presence here. Now.